Hi friends, after discussing a lot of formulas and techniques about Excel, this time we'll be talking about charts. What are the different techniques, tips and tricks, and under what circumstances, what type of data, which chart you might use. Now I'll begin with the basic one, and with the basic chart I will be explaining all the charts element, that is, how do you put the data labels, how do you change the colors of the font, how do you put the legends on top, and how do you make this area gray. So all these techniques and settings, I'll be discussing this with the help of this data. Now the data in front of me talks about the department name of a company, their actual sales in US dollar million, and their target sales. So some of these departments have met their targets, some not. Now we will do a comparative analysis with the help of a basic column chart. So I choose the data, I go to insert tab, and within which I go to the column chart. Now there are various other charts which I'll discuss one at a time, but for now let me go to column chart and let me pick up one of the basic clustered column chart. Now when I hover my cursor on any one of these charts, you will notice their help section comes out in a key tip. So I click on that. Quickly I get a basic chart like this. Now of course you can notice the difference between this chart and the one that is already made. How do I convert this basic ready-made chart to the one that looks slightly neater? So let's work on this. Now I would want that this legend. How do I know this is a legend? As soon as I hover my cursor on that, you notice the key tip comes out which says it's legend entry. If I put my cursor on chart area, it says so. Put my cursor on the chart plot area, series value, point value, vertical axis major grid line. So there you go. I can know all the technical names by just hovering the cursor on the respective charts element. Alright, now as soon as I choose the chart, you'll notice I get chart tools on top. There are 3 sub tabs under chart tools which I'll be taking use of. So firstly, if I say, that is, if I choose the layout, now within layout I get many more sub tabs. So within which, let me begin with the easier one, that is legend. What is legend? Legend is this series value that you get along with the color, so that you can make out, okay, the blue one is actual sales and the red one is target sales. So I go to legend, and within which I get many options which says where do you want to place the legend. If I say show legend at left, it shows like this. But if I also want overlay legend on left, it is also possible, but it is colliding with the data chart. So I go and make sure that within legend I say show legend on top. Now that looks more appropriate. Alright, now how do I get the data labels? If I choose the red bar, or let's say the chart area, and I go to data labels, as the name suggests, data's label. So it also talks about where do you want to put the data labels. If I say center, this is how it looks. If I say outside N, this is how it looks. Now please notice I had chosen the entire plot area before activating data labels, and that's the reason I'm getting data labels for all the bar charts. Now to make it look better, I would want that the font of the actual sales be in blue color. So I go to home, and just like a normal font color change, I go and pick up a color which matches with the bar charts color. So I click on the blue, I make it bold and probably a size more. Similarly, I choose the other value. Simultaneously all the fonts are chosen for the red bar. I go and choose the respective red color, make it bold and increase the font size a bit. Now some of them may be colliding with the bar, so I click once and once again click on the same font such that only one is chosen. And this text box, I can simply move it across, drag it towards the left such that it doesn't collide. So there you go. You can also change the placement. Next, if you do not want this line area, which one? The vertical axis major grid lines. Either you can choose it from the edges. Now if you're working with laptop and not using the mouse, this might be a slightly tricky scenario, because just accurately choosing the line might be difficult. So what you may do is select any chart element and use the down arrow key one by one it chooses all the chart elements, and there will be one case where it automatically chooses the axis grid lines. Then you can press delete. All gone. Perfect. Now, just like the previous chart, I would want that the plot area. Please notice the chart area is the full part and the plot area in which exactly the chart is plotted. So I right click on that and I say format plot area. I go to the fill color and I say solid fill with a light gray. Something like this. So you can also look at the live preview and see which color suits better. I can slightly stretch it from the right hand side. So I'm very close to what I was desiring, except for the fact that I may want to select this axis value and make it bold. Same for the numeric values. So there you go. This was a basic chart where we talked about how do you place the legends, how do you change the font bold, how do you change the look of the axis by making it bold, how do you change the color of the data labels, and in the first place how do you activate it. So this was a basic chart. We'll talk more about it in sheet 2. Now how did I make this chart? This is based on the same data, but I have two separate charts in the same one. So if I choose the data once again, or rather let me go to sheet 1 and use the same data. Let's say in this one, if I select the red bar which is pointing to target sales value, if I choose that, all of these red bar are chosen. Now if I click on it once again, please note only that particular bar is chosen as marked by the bubble. So let me click outside, let me click it once again on the red series bar, and you'll notice all of these are chosen. Now if I go to design, or I right click on that, I can find change series chart type here, I can find change chart type out here, whichever, both are pointing to the same part. If I go to change series chart type, you can in fact change it from column to the line with markers. Okay, so there you go. I have the line graph and the bar diagram, and if you want to change the color, of course you can do that. You can select that particular one, go to format. If I choose shape outline, given the fact that it's a line graph, I can make it, let's say, green. Why isn't the marker changing? Because for which you'll have to go to shape fill and change the color. If you think that the placement of the data labels aren't appropriate, for one or two of them you might have to do it manually. If I choose the blue bar, I go to shape fill and change the color to maybe red or maybe orange. So your choice. This is how you can change the chart type in the same chart. So this was a basic exercise. We'll talk about more in the upcoming videos. So keep on practicing. Till then,